Hello, everyone. I'm going to let you all join in. I see that we have a lot
A
of
todos
people
voy a
today
dejar
flying in.
ahora que puedan entrar.
So, great to have you all here.
Encantados de tenerlos a todos aquí.
Give it a couple of minutes. Okay. See that you're all coming in. So just make sure you set up everything, and really love to welcome you to today's online seminar for the WAPES and the World of Public Employment Services webinar. We want to explore today the labor market of the Philippines, and I'm super excited because the Philippines are also one of our members within WAPES, and we will discover the role of the Philippine Public Employment Service called the Department of Labor and Employment. And some of you might know me already since I'm moderating quite often these webinars, but my name is Nicole Clovis, and yeah, I have the pleasure of being your moderator today too. Seconded consultant from the Bundesagentur für Arbeit, which is the German Public Employment Service. The webinar today will last around 1 hour. It's always we always have to close within 1 hour, and we will conduct it in English. But you have really the opportunity to select your language. We offer French and Spanish, so there's a little interpretation cloak down there, and to choose your language that you're most convenient feeling with. So you need to choose your language either on the More button or on the Interpretation button, and you can also close the original tone so that you can only listen to the language that you prefer. Also want to raise attention that the webinar will be recorded, and that we will be sending out also the recording later to those that could not attend or missed it for some important appointment. And we will also be publishing it on the YouTube channel, on our WAPES TV YouTube channel. The presentation today will be displayed in English, and we have been pre-recording it already, but you can also find the French and Spanish version of the PowerPoint presentation in the resources. So if you click on More or on Resources down in Zoom, there you can also find some newsletter of WAPES, but also the presentations that we have been translating for your convenience already. You can download them from there, but we will also be putting them in the chat. And you can also see that the microphones for you are muted. It's by default, but you are very welcome to raise your questions into the chat, and the questions that we cannot answer today will be answered later to you, and we will send out all the material and put it on our website too. So I would like to move to our speaker today and the presentation today from the Philippines. We're very honored that we have today Mr. Patri Baravan with us, Junior. He's the OIC Assistant Secretary for Employment and Human Resource Development Cluster of the Department of Labor and Employment. And he currently serves as the Director, the fourth of the Bureau of Local Employment, with the mandate to promote decent work in the country through the development and management of employment policies, programs, and services based on timely and accurate labor market information. So I'm very honored, and we are very happy to have you here as our member, but also as our presenter today, Patrick. And just to let you know that we are also very happy and grateful that our colleagues from the Philippines have been recording this session today already, just to avoid any interruptions that might occur when the internet connection sometimes can be unstable. So it's really very convenient for us. So we will be playing the video, the recording that has been already recorded, and then afterwards you will all have the opportunity to ask questions. But please put them already in the chat, and we are super happy to translate them already and give them to Patrick, who will be answering your questions. Okay, well, thank you so much, Patrick. Patrick, you want to say a few words before we start to display the recording?
Thank you, Nicole. Of course, we'd like to thank WAPES for this opportunity for the Philippines to share our practices in public employment services. And we're very excited to hear the discussion later and, of course, respond to the questions that will be raised. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you, Patrick. Wonderful. Great. And then I'm hoping that we can go forward and or can display our video. Just waiting for that. And I hope you enjoy.
To all members of the World Association of Public Employment Services and the organizers of this series of webinars led by Nicole and her awesome team, a pleasant morning. On behalf of the Philippine Department of Labor and Employment, I would like to express my gratitude to the World Association of Public Employment Services for the invitation to the WAPES series of webinars, World of PES. With this, I am excited to share with you today how the Philippines has operationalized the concept of public employment services from policy formulation to program implementation and use of timely and accurate labor market information, especially as the Philippines strategically aligns its implementation under its 5-point agenda on public employment services. Before I begin with my presentation on the Philippine Public Employment Services, allow me to provide an overview of the present key facts about the Philippines. The Philippines is a Southeast Asian archipelago composed of 7,641 islands, endowed with rich natural resources and vibrant marine biodiversity. It is home to approximately 114 million people, making it one of the most populous nations in the region, with a notably young demographic profile. This young population presents both a challenge and an opportunity in shaping the country's labor and economic agenda. As of December 2024, the Philippine labor force stands at 50.786 million, with a participation rate of 64.4%. Among these, 48.843 million individuals are employed, reflecting a robust employment rate of 96.2%. However, around 1.943 million remain unemployed, representing a 3.8% unemployment rate. Additionally, underemployment continues to affect 5.818 million workers, or 11.9%, indicating the need for more stable and adequately paying jobs. In terms of employment drivers, the services sector remains the backbone of the economy, led by the IT, BPM, retail, and tourism industries. The industrial sector, comprising manufacturing and construction, also plays a pivotal role in employment generation, particularly as infrastructure spending increases. Meanwhile, agriculture continues to support livelihoods in rural areas through farming and fisheries. Overseas Filipino workers remain vital, with their remittances accounting for nearly 10% of GDP. Looking ahead, emerging sectors such as green jobs and digital services offer promising new avenues for inclusive and sustainable employment. This snapshot highlights both the strengths and evolving dynamics of the Philippine labor market, underscoring the importance of targeted policies to bridge gap, enhance quality, job quality, and future-proof public employment services are anchored. The International Labour Organization establishes the framework for public employment on economic and workforce development, in collaboration with employers and educational institutions to align job skills with market needs. By ratifying ILO Convention 88, the Philippines committed to develop Employment Plan 2023 to 2028 serves as a strategic roadmap for labor and employment objectives aligned with the Philippine Development Plan. Further, the Trabajo para sa Bayan Act, or RA 11962, was signed into law, marking a pivotal moment in Philippine government's commitment to addressing employment challenges and fostering labor market development. This landmark legislation establishes a comprehensive national employment master plan aptly named the Trabajo para sa Bayan Plan. The plan focuses on promoting decent employment, advancing business opportunities, and creating a robust framework for equitable growth. It also emphasizes access to opportunities for skills development and career advancement, the promotion of a supportive labor environment that upholds workers' welfare alongside business competitiveness, and enhancement of labor market governance to advance progress toward a fulfilling and secure future for every Filipino. Meanwhile, Republic Act No. 10691, or the amended PESO Act of 1999, institutionalizes public employment service offices in all local government units to employment facilitation services. It mandates the establishment of public employment service offices, defines their core functions such as job placement, career counseling, labor market information dissemination, and skills development coordination, and requires regular funding and plantilla personnel to ensure sustainability. The law strengthens partnerships with employers, educational institutions, and government agencies to improve job matching and workforce alignment. It also promotes digitalization of employment services, ensuring accessibility for all job seekers, including youth, displaced workers, overseas Filipino workers or OFWs, and persons with disabilities, while aligning with ILO Convention 88 on public employment services. The Philippine Labor and Employment Plan has three interrelated priority areas geared at ensuring balanced and responsive employment policies and programs for all. Priority 1 focuses on maximizing productive, remunerative, freely chosen, and sustainable work and employment opportunities. The second priority ensures labor governance that respects all fundamental principles and rights at work, international labor standards, and human rights. And finally, building equitable and inclusive social protection for all completes the three priorities under the plan. Focusing on the first priority, the DOLE is implementing various strategies to attain the following outcomes: increased employability, equal access to employment and work opportunities, where the PES highly contributes, shared labor market governance, and enhanced enabling environment to promote the development of sustainable and resilient enterprises, particularly for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Moving on to the operational structure of the public employment services, this portion presents a mechanism on how the Philippines institutionalizes its national employment service network machinery. According to the PESO Act, as amended, the Department of Labor and Employment shall provide technical supervision and assistance to all PESOs nationwide. The Bureau of Local Employment sets the policies, programs, and guidelines for our implementers. Meanwhile, the DOLE regional offices monitor all activities of the PESOs in all local government units, thereby implementing the programs designed and developed by the Bureau of Local Employment. Local government units in the provinces, cities, and municipalities serve as the employment frontliners in the delivery of the PESO's mandates, with the provincial government's oversight function. As the primary conduit of the DOLE for the provision of employment services, all provinces, cities, and municipalities in the country have their own public employment service offices that serves as a non-fee charging employment facilitation hub for constituents, especially at the grassroots level. Over the past 5 years, the Public Employment Service in the Philippines has demonstrated consistent growth and resilience in facilitating employment opportunities nationwide. From 2020 to 2024, the average number of job vacancies solicited reached over 4.47 million, peaking at nearly 5.76 million in 2024, which reflects an increasingly robust labor market engagement by our PESOs with employers across the country. The job applicant registration also improved significantly, averaging about 2.57 million per year, indicating stronger public trust and utilization of PES services. Correspondingly, an annual average of over 2.38 million applicants were referred for placement, with 2.17 million successfully placed into wage employment, showcasing a high level of efficiency in bridging labor supply and demand. In terms of training support, PESOS referred around 106,000 applicants yearly to skills development initiatives, an area with potential for scaling up to further strengthen employability. The placement rate for wage employment consistently held strong at 90% on average, climbing from 87% in 2020 and 2021 to a notable 94% in 2024. Sector-wise, placements remained predominantly in the private sector, accounting for about 1.07 million placements annually. The government sector followed closely with 1.06 million, while overseas placements, though smaller in volume, showed gradual increases, averaging 25,203 per year, with a peak of 34,351 in 2024. Overall, the PES system's performance trajectory reflects both quantitative strength and operational efficiency, affirming its crucial role in national employment facilitation. The data also hints at strategic areas for enhancement, particularly in training referrals and overseas placement, to ensure a more inclusive and diversified employment ecosystem. To continuously strengthen and empower the country's public employment service office managers, and job placement officers, the Philippines have devised a work plan that ultimately aims to improve the management and overall operations of the PESOS, specifically the PES 5-point agenda. The 5-point agenda runs parallel with the timeline of the Philippine Development Plan and the Philippine Labor and Employment Plan 2023 to 2028 in order to fully realize the goal of increasing the capacity and strengthening the PESO's position as the primary conduit of the DOLE towards the effective delivery of employment services at the grassroots level. First off, PESO institutionalization efforts through our local government ordinances strengthen the presence of PESOs at the local level across the country. Next, the comprehensive capacity development efforts include training programs, workshops, seminars, and mentorship opportunities to ensure that PESO personnel are updated with the latest employment trends, technologies, and best practices. For the third point, strengthening the core functions means reinforcing PES officers and stakeholders of their primary responsibilities. PESOs can maintain focus and ensure that they are providing the necessary services to both job seekers and employers effectively. Fourth, it is crucial for PESOs to collaborate and build strong partnerships with employers and education and training institutions. Strengthening these partnerships can lead to several benefits, such as enhanced job matching, relevant skills training, improved labor market information, and expanded employment opportunities. Lastly, but most importantly, the Philippines is prioritizing the adoption of digital technologies and tools to improve the efficiency and accessibility of services, including the improvement of our PhilJobNet portal and Public Employment Information System database, provision of online training, and use of artificial intelligence and data analytics to analyze labor market trends, job seeker preferences, and employer needs for better job skills matching. On PESO institutionalization, by institutionalizing PESOs, the government aims to enhance the delivery of public employment services and improve coordination between national and local employment policies. The LGU must create a permanent office dedicated to employment services within the local government structure. This ensures that employment facilitation is a sustained government function rather than a temporary initiative. The PESO office serves as a central hub for job matching, labor market information, career counseling services. The ordinance must define the specific roles and responsibilities of PESO. The LGU must allocate permanent staff, plantilla personnel, for PESO operations, This ensures that employment services are continuously available rather than relying on temporary or contractual workers. Budget provisions are much more needed to ensure PESO has enough resources for its operations. Funding should cover staff salaries and training, office maintenance, digitalization initiatives, and facilitation of employment programs such as job fairs, career coaching, and skills development. Financial stability ensures sustainability and prevents service interruptions. We saw the growing importance of PES in the country, especially in light of labor market disruptions, in facilitating job matching of job seekers who are looking for employment with employers who need workers to fill their vacancies. PES has 5 core functions as seen on your screen: job search assistance and placement services, labor market information, labor market programs, administering unemployment benefits, and regulatory services. PES helps match people looking for work with companies that have job vacancies through its job search assistance and placement services, including career development support services. Whether it's manual or electronic, PES assists in the process of finding employment opportunities efficiently through the gathering of job seekers' registrations and job vacancy notices to create a database of labor market information shared through the PES. PES also aids in improving opportunities for individuals to land a job or start as self-employed through referral to active labor market programs, including assistance support to groups in vulnerable situations as low-skilled, juvenile, single mothers, and the differently abled persons. During times of crisis and disruptions, PES also bridges the gap by facilitating individuals' application to various social protection and unemployment benefits, and helps in the regulation of employment services such as job fair regulation. As of date, there are a total of 1,592 established LGU-based PESOs. This number includes all public employment service offices in the provincial, municipal, and city levels. Under the supervision of local government units and the technical support of the Department of Labor and Employment, the PESOs are tasked to ensure prompt, timely, and efficient delivery of employment services and information on DOLE programs. To ensure their continued operation and sustainability, the amended PESO law mandates PESO institutionalization and establishment of computerized systems for improved labor market information and employment facilitation services. With this, out of the 1,592 established PESOs, 794 of them are institutionalized. Apart from the LGU-based PESOs, we also currently have 385 job placement offices nationwide. These include education and training institutions that help the PESOs in carrying out its core services. All of these PESOs and JPOs are present in different localities throughout the 17 regions of the Philippines, with thousands of employees ready to provide employment facilitation services to their clients. By investing in the professional growth of PESO officers and staff, the quality and efficiency of employment services can be significantly improved. It is the very reason why a comprehensive capacity development is part of our agenda for our employment frontliners to have the necessary capacities to carry out their respective mandates. To ensure a comprehensive and standardized approach to capacity building initiatives for national and regional program implementers of the Department of Labor and Employment, the manual for the training of trainers on public employment services was cascaded to all public employment service offices, DOLE regional offices, and other stakeholders involved in delivering high-quality employment services. This manual serves as a valuable reference and guide in strengthening employment facilitation services across various sectors. Developed in alignment with the Philippine Development Plan, the Philippine Labor and Employment Plan, and the Public Employment Services priority areas, this manual is designed to foster a thorough understanding of the pivotal role played by PESOs. As DOLE's strategic partners, PESOs are instrumental in ensuring the efficient implementation and dissemination of employment programs and services at the local government level. This includes a keen focus on fulfilling their mandates and core functions, particularly in addressing the needs of the youth and marginalized groups who require targeted employment assistance. This initiative underscores DOLE's commitment to enhancing the capacity of employment service providers, ensuring that employment programs are delivered with consistency, efficiency, and an unwavering focus on inclusive and equitable labor market opportunities. The module is composed of 11 units, including an overview of the Philippine PES, registration and assessment procedures for job seekers, services for employers, career development support, assistance for target groups, youth employability, emergency employment, labor market information, labor market programs, policy updates, and a training methodology. Group activities, role-playing, and interactive learning modules are part of the learning delivery, thereby ensuring that participants will be able to appreciate the process and scenarios that they may face in the delivery of PES. This comprehensive career development support program manual serves as a guide to empowering youth, job seekers, employers, persons with disabilities, and vulnerable groups through tailored interventions, capacity building, and holistic support. It addresses gaps in employability dimensions, including personal and environmental factors, job objectives, required skills, job search strategies, and employment retention. Designed for PESO or JPO managers, staff, and career development service providers, it equips them to facilitate career readiness aligned with industry demands and labor market trends. The training will equip them with the knowledge and tools necessary to effectively implement the manual's provisions, ensuring a more responsive and efficient approach to career development, adopting a dynamic and participatory approach through a combination of theoretical discussions with practical applications. To name, these includes lecture, case studies, hands-on exercises, and peer learning sessions. With this, career development support services are effectively delivered, particularly in areas of career counseling, vocational counseling, and employment counseling. Program participants are expected to confidently apply these counseling strategies in real-world scenarios, tailoring their approaches to the needs of different target groups and ultimately enhancing their employability prospects. Let me introduce the key sections of the manual. This includes Introduction to Career Development Support, which provides an overview of employment barriers and challenges faced by job seekers, an introduction to the 5 employability dimensions, such as personal and environmental factors, job objectives and career aspirations, skills and qualifications, job search technologies, techniques, and workplace retention and advancement. Individuals and groups which aim to assess career development support clients for career planning, focusing on strategies for addressing personal and environmental factors that impact career choices and techniques for setting clear job objectives and making informed career decisions. Vocational counseling and skills development provides for the identification of skills requirements for specific jobs and bridging skills gaps and exploring training opportunities, technical and vocational education, and on-the-job training programs. Employment counseling and job placement assistance include job search strategies, resume writing, cover letter preparation, and interview coaching, enhancing employability through soft skills development, work ethics, and career advancement strategies is part of the assistance provided under this module. And finally, labor market programs and government initiatives provide an overview of youth employability programs, such as special program for the employment of students, Job Start Philippines, government internship program, and employment assistance for PWDs, displaced workers, and marginalized job seekers. Emergency employment programs to support individuals affected by labor market disruptions is also discussed. We also have the soft and core skills training modules. This is a structured and comprehensive training resource material developed by the Department of Labor and Employment Bureau of Local Employment to enhance the employability of young Filipinos, particularly those not in education, not in employment, and not in training. This manual provides a well-rounded approach to workforce preparation, equipping job seekers with essential soft and core skills necessary for professional success. covering key competencies such as effective communication, teamwork, problem solving, digital literacy, financial management, and workplace professionalism. The modules are designed to bridge skills gaps and help participants navigate the evolving labor market. By fostering self-confidence, adaptability, and ethical work habits, the training supports job seekers in building long-term career resilience and employability. Structured into high, medium, and supporting priority modules, the program ensures a progressive learning experience that balances job readiness with personal growth and well-being. Participants will engage in interactive learning, role-playing exercises, and self-assessments to develop skills critical to workplace integration and career advancement. Beyond technical preparation, the modules also emphasize mental health awareness, stress management, conflict resolution, and networking, ensuring a holistic approach to employment readiness. By strengthening foundational workplace competencies, this program empowers Filipino youth to enter the workforce with confidence, competence, and a clear path toward career success. The third agenda focuses on strengthening the core functions of the PES offices, making its services more appropriate to the needs of its diverse clients. The following are the mandates of the PESO as prescribed under Republic Act No. 10691, encouraging employers to submit vacancies to create a manpower demand profile, provide for testing and evaluation instruments for better assessment of job seekers' qualification and appropriate job matching services, access to various labor market programs, including self-employment initiatives, undertake employability enhancement training and capacity building for the job seekers to have better chances of getting employed, providing pre-employment, employment, and post-employment support through counseling, including reintegration of returning migrant workers, and preparation of annual plans and budgets. PESO's role as employment matching facility involves services that meet the needs of the job seekers it serves. This includes job search assistance and placement, career development support, and labor market information for job seekers. This would enable our job seekers to explore the appropriate assistance they need, anchoring on informed career decisions and leveraging on the demands of the labor market. Public employment services also cater to employers as well. It helps in understanding labor market demand, implementing effective measures, and gathering information on job opportunities. Building strong relationships with employers allows for planning interventions such as job fairs, career fairs, and training programs, enhancing job seekers' employability and improving job matching. Here we feature services such as human resource planning, recruitment assistance, and labor market information provision. Career development support services encompass a number of activities which provide support to individuals in achieving successful and fulfilling careers. According to the International Labour Organization, such support activities cover a wide variety of services and activities such as career guidance, career education, and career development support for the formally employed, workers in the informal sector, and the self-employed. To carry out the delivery of PESO services, there is a growing need for the PESO to connect with the stakeholders for targeted program delivery. Hence, PESOs need to strengthen its ties among government agencies, employers, and the academe. Under Republic Act No. 10691, a Job Placement Office or JPO refers to an employment service unit established within educational institutions to assist students and graduates in finding job opportunities. These offices serve as bridges between the academic sector and the labor market, ensuring that graduates have access to career guidance, job matching services, and labor market information. JPOs collaborate with PESOs, employers, and training institutions to enhance employability and workforce readiness. They also help facilitate internships, apprenticeships, and industry linkages to align students' skills with labor market demands. To date, there are already 385 job placement offices and non-government organizations, community-based organizations, and other institutions with established agreements with the Department of Labor and Employment regional offices for the purpose of delivering employment facilitation services within their jurisdiction. Partnerships among public employment service offices, industry representatives, and educational institutions are essential in ensuring a seamless transition from education to employment, addressing labor market gaps, and fostering economic growth. These collaborations allow for a more responsive and dynamic workforce that meets the evolving demands of industries. By aligning education with employment opportunities, these partnerships help bridge the skills mismatch that often leads to underemployment and job vacancies despite availability of graduates. One of the primary advantages of these partnerships is the creation of relevant and up-to-date curricula that equip students with the skills needed by employers. Collaboration in designing academic programs and technical vocational training programs among educational institutions with the guidance of industry representatives and PESOs ensures that graduates possess competencies that match labor market demands, reducing skills gaps and increasing employability. Additionally, industry representatives can provide internships, on-the-job training, and apprenticeships, allowing students to gain real-world experience before entering the workforce. Moreover, PESOs play a vital role in linking job seekers to employment opportunities by facilitating job fairs, career coaching, and employment facilitation services. Through collaboration with industry representatives and schools, PESOs can provide students and job seekers with timely labor market information, helping them make informed career choices. Another significant aspect of these partnerships is contribution to workforce development and continuous learning. With rapid technological advancement and shifting industry trends, employees must continuously upgrade their skills. Industry representatives, education institutions, and PESOs can work together to provide upskilling and reskilling programs to ensure that workers remain competitive. This lifelong learning approach benefits both employees and businesses, allowing industries to remain agile in an ever-changing economic landscape. This collaboration among PESO, industry associations, and educational institutions is crucial in strengthening the Philippine labor market. It ensures that graduates are job-ready, reduces skills mismatch, facilitates employment, and fosters workforce development. By working together, these entities contribute to national economic progress by creating a competent, adaptive, and competitive workforce. To further increase the reach and improve the efficacy of PES services across the country, the department endeavors to digitalize the process of all PESOs nationwide through effective data collection, analysis, dissemination, and application of AI technologies and tools. Anchored on the country's development plans, the Public Employment Service Office Digitalization Roadmap is an initiative by the Department of Labor and Employment to modernize employment facilitation services in the Philippines and strengthen PESOs as a central hub for job matching, career development, and labor market information dissemination to address challenges such as limited technology access, disparities in internet connectivity, and digital literacy gaps. The roadmap outlines a phased digitalization strategy that includes modernizing digital infrastructure, improving internet access, integrating AI-driven job matching, expanding online job search platforms, and enhancing cybersecurity and data protection. The master plan focuses on institutionalizing PESOs, enhancing efficiency, strengthening partnerships with employers and education institutions, and integrating digital transformation by identifying significant regional disparities in technology infrastructure and internet access, affecting employment service accessibility. Many local government units, especially in lower income municipalities, lack computers, internet access, and IT infrastructure, hence the observable digital divide. Likewise, PESO staff, job seekers, and employers have varying levels of digital literacy, requiring targeted training programs. Many PESOs still rely on manual processes, slowing down job matching and employment facilitation. Our vision in this master plan is to establish an integrated, AI-driven employment service ecosystem that connects job seekers and employers efficiently. We target 80% of PESOs institutionalized within 2 years and 90% of PESO staff trained in digital literacy and employment service technologies. Meanwhile, we plan for a 30% reduction in job matching time and 40% increase in job placement accuracy. These indicative targets can be achieved by employing AI-powered job matching, which uses predictive analytics and automation to enhance job placements. The master plan envisions a centralized database for labor market information, employer listings, and job seeker profiles serves as an avenue for virtual job fairs and digital career services, which enables remote job seeking opportunities and real-time employer engagement. The plan also ensures PESO services are interoperable with other government platforms for seamless employment facilitation. Part of the thrust is for the plan to be secured in handling job seekers and employers' data. This includes multi-factor authentication, data encryption, and regular security audits to prevent breaches. For continuous improvement of the system, the master plan also includes regular system updates based on user feedback and labor market trends, and adoption of emerging technologies, AI, blockchain, automation for long-term stability. We expect for the delivery of PES to expedite and increase the efficacy of job placement services through AI and automation, expanded accessibility of PESO services, especially for rural and underserved areas, and stronger labor market insights to support data-driven policymaking. The plan likewise aims to future-proof PESOs with a modernized, inclusive, and AI-powered employment system. In pursuit of the various policies and strategies of the current administration and the prevailing international standards for employment facilitation, the Department of Labor and Employment continuously refines policies and programs to make employment more accessible and to foster a climate conducive to growth for the Filipino community. We recognize that insights acquired from collaborative activities, such as the one that we are having here today, are invaluable for shaping a labor environment that welcomes investment, nurtures local talent, and reduces disparities. By working hand in hand with various employment experts, we can combine regulatory frameworks with on-the-ground expertise to ensure that our workforce remain future-ready and no one is left behind. Harnessing innovation, embedding resilience, and fostering growth not only propel organizations forward, but also help us fulfill our aspiration for a dignified, inclusive, and prosperous society. With this collaboration through WAPES and all its members across the globe, we can forge a future where every PES office is given the chance to flourish, adapt, and contribute meaningfully to the development and progress of each of the members of the World Association of Public Employment Services. That would be all for the 5-point agenda on PES, and we hope that the Philippines could align its efforts with global best practices and benchmark across diverse PES practices toward the advancement of public employment services. Thank you. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm back. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation and the recording, to Patrick and his team. I would also like to thank you for highlighting here in your presentation several really important points. Also, one of them is highlighting the ILO Convention Ratification 88. And I see that we also have here some colleagues in the audience, and that raises a lot of attention also here. And just a reminder that ILO is also an observer of WAPES, so we really closely collaborate also with the ILO and advocate for the ratification of the Convention 88. And I think it's also really a great reminder of how important it is, and the Philippines have ratified it already since quite some years. And so it's really important to offer free public employment services, and also a reminder for countries that haven't signed it yet, but also for the ones that have signed it, and that there is a strong commitment that was made. But talking about the ILO, we have some questions relating also to that in the chat. This person asked, I think it was Mark, that the ILO, among other, encourages public and private partnerships in the delivery of the frontline services when it comes to public employment services, especially insofar as these support the socially disadvantaged and marginalized job seekers So I would like to hear a little bit about what the approach of the disability employment services in the Philippines. I know that you've talked a little bit about the inclusion of vulnerable groups, Patrick, but maybe you could give us a little bit more insight about the specific measures when it comes to inclusive employment and these special services for vulnerable groups.
Thank you, Nicole. And to respond to the question on the Philippines' approach to disability employment services, I hope I'm clear. Sorry. Okay. So what we have is we have a separate legislation for the Magna Carta for persons with disabilities under Republic Act 7277, which requires all public services to have, of course, tools, mechanisms in place to address requirements of our PWDs. So what the national government does is it monitors at the national level through the National Council for Disability Affairs the implementation of this law across different local government units. And for each province or for each region, there is a regional council or committee for disability affairs which monitors or conducts assessment of buildings, public places for access to services for our PWDs. And but particularly for pesos, at the moment or currently, we do not have that checklist where we strongly or closely monitor all our pesos to have this. Considering, of course, that we have a separate government agency looking after this. But it's a good recommendation, of course, especially if other countries or WAPES members are also doing it. It's something that we can also adopt to monitor all our pesos. Of course, to help our National Council for Disability Affairs. And so aside from the checklist, we have not yet done a complete assessment also of all our public employment service offices, if they have all these tools or requirements for our persons with disabilities. And that's something that we need to work on our end. Thank you. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, of course. And also I saw that there was a question on that collection in the chat that also answers the question that you're still really working on this. And I think this is also a call to each and everyone that is participating in this webinar. So we need to reach out and to share the best practices. And as you already said, I'm sure that there are also some members, and I see that there are some members in the webinar that would like to reach out. It always goes through us. So we would be super happy if there is some kind of exchange that we could further elaborate on. But we still have also some questions. We have a little bit time remaining, and I would love to ask you also on because in the presentation you talked also about the digitalization of the Philippines and that there is a master plan that outlines some goals like AI-driven job matching and the virtual job fairs. But maybe you could also tell us a little bit really about where you stand currently in the rollout of the digital tools and also a bit about the key challenges and the lessons learned so far.
Thank you, Nicole. On the maturity level of the Philippines in terms of implementing digitalization in our public employment services, what we have already done, as I've mentioned in the presentation, we have an online job matching portal. That's one way of ensuring that we have a digital platform or database of all the vacancies and the job seekers. But in terms of matching these vacancies with the profiles of our job seekers, that's something that we need to enhance in our system. And so we have already requested budget from the national government to provide us resources, of course, provide consultancy services, upgrading our systems and also our software to have these features integrated in our existing online job matching platform. Aside from that, we regularly how do you call it? We regularly assess or do a survey of all our public employment services in terms of their digitalization initiatives. We have been tracking how many pesos across the country, whether they are in a highly urbanized area or city, or they are in a rural area or in the province or far flung regions. we have consolidated this report and have actually monitored how many of our pesos have computers, laptops, and even specific systems or softwares they have initiated at their local government levels. So that's where we are currently. We're trying to come up with a mapping of all our digitalization initiatives nationwide. Of course, we know, aside from the national government, the local government in the Philippines also has its own initiatives within their locality. And we wanted to align, of course, all these efforts and harmonize and integrate it with our public employment services. So what we're doing, aside from us doing the survey, regularly monitoring the initiatives of our local government units through the pesos, is to also propose at the national level, of course, our budget and propose this national master plan we have relayed in our presentation and be able to implement this across the 5-year plan that we have mentioned. So there are different stages in the master plan, and we have only started with the budget proposal and with the mapping of initiatives across different local government units. Over to you, Nico.
Yes, no, thank you so much, Patrick. I also see that there is a bit of interest and really the collaboration that you emphasized working with the employers and the PESO. So maybe you could give us a little bit an overview how the employers perceive the effectiveness of the programs that you aim towards bridging education and employment. So just some insight, we would be really interested on that.
Yes, and thank you, Nicole. And we part of our agenda really for our pesos is to be able to enter into partnership with enterprises at the local level, at the local government level. But aside from that, the Department of Labor and Employment at the national level, of course, engages with industry associations. We have our Employers Confederation of the Philippines, our industry associations for different sectors, which includes the Information Technology Association. We also have the Construction Association. So different industry associations we have partnered with at the national level. Of course, in being able to implement all our employment programs at the Department of Labor and Employment and have access to all these programs in partnering with them, especially when we implement, for example, Job Start program, as we have mentioned earlier, we require the counterpart, the employer, the participating employer, to also implement their technical training, aside from our pesos implementing the soft and core skills training. And aside from that, we continuously engage our employers, partner employers, in the conduct of our nationwide job fair activities, even our career congress. No? So we make sure that we get the employers participate and share relevant labor market information, career development services for our job seekers. And this is something that we regularly monitor with our public employment service offices. Just to share with you, Nicole, and to all our participants, on a regular basis, the Bureau, my Bureau, the Bureau of Local Employment, holds a quarterly meeting with all the public employment service office regional presidents. So there's a federation at each region comprising of all the peso managers within the locality. For example, in the National Capital Region in Metro Manila, we have a federation of all our peso managers, and they elect a regional president. And on a quarterly basis, I meet all these regional presidents, and they report to me the progress and their implementation of the 5-point agenda we have presented. So one thing that we closely monitor is how many industry associations at the region, how many employers have they engaged with, how many education institutions have they partnered with, and that is what we report at the national level. Over to you, Nicole.
Thank you so much. Great. And I have one last question, and this goes collaborating with educational institutions, as you said. So you also collaborate with universities to help them, also individuals, to gain some qualification, or you mainly work with vocational schools, Patrick?
Thank you, Nicole. And that's one part of our institutionalization agenda, the establishment of job placement offices. I've discussed earlier that we have also focused on establishing JPOs across different colleges and universities, even secondary schools. No? And so what we want to make sure in the partnership with the universities and the colleges is that when we establish a job placement office at the university, we are able to access, of course, their profile of new graduates, the curriculum design that they implement, and at the same time, the JPO being located at the university, who also has access to its network of alumni, also is able to see employment trends, private sector practices, and be able to update or upgrade their curriculum design and development. And so it's a two-way process benefiting both the university and the employers. At the same time, the Public Employment Service Office being able to monitor this dynamic relationship is able to get the trends, both from the university and also from the private sector. So part of what we monitor now is the establishment of job placement offices. We have a template memorandum of agreement that we disseminate to all our pesos so that our pesos would be able to facilitate the creation of a JPO in the universities within their locality, also in partnership with the department's regional offices. So these stakeholders do it at the regional, at the local level, and ensure that our JPOs also are able to implement the 5-point PES agenda. Over to you, Nicole.
Thank you so much, Patricia. It sounds really dynamic and very collaborative. I'm very thankful for this great presentation, and was so colorful. Also, would love to visit. And I think that some of the colleagues in the webinar would love to do the same, would love to know more, because I see that there's a lot of questions, and I'm super thankful for that. We always have only this 1 hour dedicated time, but like I said, we will get back to you and to the team of Patrick with all the super good questions that we still have remaining. I'm sorry that we have to conclude now, but I would love to thank you really, Patrick, again, and really for the great contribution that you have been doing, also the presentation that you have been recording. I think it's really a great example of aligning the national efforts with global standard. Thank you so much for doing that, and thank you really for contributing to the global learning, also for all our members, stakeholders, and guests here today. So I would love to thank again also the interpreters that are always bearing with us and are doing a very excellent work. Thank you to all of you for your participation today. I really hope that you have enjoyed this online seminar. And Patrick, I could assume that anyone that would love to reach out to you could reach out to you.
Yes, of course, through WAPES, we'd love to hear potential areas for collaboration.
So thank you so much. So this is really a call for all of you. If you would love to get to know more, also the colleagues, and then you can always contact the WAPE Secretariat. We're super happy that we have you included as our members. And yeah, I hope you really have enjoyed. And before you all click off, I would love to remind you that we have some other webinars coming up very soon. We will put them in the chat. So just for your convenience, I also want to mention that WAPES, as many others, will go on a short summer break. We will not be having any webinar coming up in July, but we will be back with the PES of the UK, the Department for Work and Pensions, on August 28th. So if you would like to know more about the UK Public Employment Services, please sign up. And then we have the PES of Peru and the PES of Azerbaijan also coming up. You can find all the links in here, so please sign up and get to know us better. And I'm wishing you all a wonderful, good, July coming up, summer break. And before you go, please reply to our survey that will be coming up in the end. And we are really always appreciating your feedback on this. And thank you so much to all the colleagues really making this happen. And wishing you all a great afternoon. For you, Patrick, it's already nighttime when you click off, and so thank you so much to all of you, and hope to see you all soon. Bye bye.